Adventures in Murfreesboro is produced in cooperation with Murfreesboro City Schools.
When you're with Murphy in the Burrow, it's one big adventure after another. When you're with Murphy in the Burrow, you can count on a whole lot of fun. Murph has lots of special friends you never know, who'll be dropping in. Come see what they're gonna tell us, see what they're gonna do. It could be artists with easels, builders with tools, inventors, creators, or kids from our school. Someone sharing story time, friends making music, or making words rhyme, having a good time. When you're with Murphy in the Burrow, it's one big adventure after another. When you're with Murphy in the Burrow, you can count on a whole lot of fun. You can count on a whole lot of fun.
And Murph Manning goes deep into the pocket, and he's throwing, Whoa! Look at that one! Another great throw by Murph Manning, and the crowd goes wild!
Hey, Murph. What's this ball doing on the floor? And who is Murph Manning?
Well, okay. I'm pretending to be Murph Manning, the fourth long-lost Manning brother, you know, Peyton's brother.
Oh, okay.
And I'm trying to throw the football like he would.
Well, it's football time in Tennessee, isn't it, Murph?
Oh, football time in Tennessee! Yeah.
Murph, what's wrong? I thought you loved football.
Oh, I do, John. But I can't play this year. You know, I may never be able to play again.
Oh, you mean because of your hurt foot?
Yeah, right.
Well, what about being in band?
Can't march either.
Oh, that's right. Let me think. You know, Murph, there are lots of different ways you can be involved in an activity that you like or care about.
Really? There is?
There is. And you know, Murph, when things get tough and they don't work out the way we want the first time, we shouldn't give up. I mean, just look at your show. There are all these different parts that come together. You've got the person who plans the show.
Yeah.
You've got the person who makes the phone calls and sends the emails.
Yeah.
You've got the writer. You've got the director. And you've got you and me.
Oh, yeah.
All the different parts come together to make a great show.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. And it's true, too.
You know, Murph, I've got a cool autumn art project that'll show you exactly what I mean.
Oh, really? Well, okay, let's do it. You know, I like art projects.
Okay, Murph, here are the directions. While you get started, I'm going to make a phone call.
Oh, okay. Phone call. Okay. So the directions. Let's see. Let's take it away. Here we go. Let's see. It says we need 2 pieces of construction paper, a piece of regular like white computer paper, and we need some paint and a glue stick and pencil and some scissors. That's it. Okay. And it says we are making a mosaic acorn. Well, that's kind of cool. You know, hey, an acorn is perfect for fall. So are you ready to get started? And how about you guys up there?
I'm ready, Murph.
Okay. Did you make your phone call, dude?
I did. And when we finish this up, you're going to meet someone very special.
Your mama?
No,
Okay.
not my mama.
Who's it going to be?
It's a surprise, Murph.
Okay.
You just have to wait and find out.
Okay, well, let's get going on our project.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, dude, so get us started on our project, our autumn art project.
All right, the first thing you need to do, Murph, is you need to draw an acorn.
Yeah, I'm not very good at drawing.
That's okay. You can just freehand it. I've done this with mine. As you see, it's not perfect.
Let me see.
So, see? It's
Okay,
right there.
oh, that's pretty good, dude. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So now we're
And
going to...
acorn's all autumny and everything.
It is all autumny.
Okay.
So now we're going to cut it out.
Okay. Snip, snip, snip.
Now we're going to take a piece of black construction paper.
Does it have to be black?
It does not have to be black. It could be orange or blue or whatever color you want it to be.
Cool, okay. But black is kind of dark and fun, huh?
That's right. All right, Murph. I've got this new thing called a glue dots that we're going to use, but you can use a glue stick.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Or just regular Elmer's glue.
Good old white glue.
Good old white glue, that's right.
Okay, all right.
So we're going to put
go
these
for it.
on here
Little
just
dot,
like
little
this.
dot. Okay.
And then we're going to flip this over.
Oh,
and
look at
put
that,
that
yeah.
right there, just like that.
Now we're going to put our little hat on.
Yep.
The
Gonna put
top
the hat
of
on.
the acorn.
And
good.
there we go, Murph.
Awesome
We're
sauce,
set right there.
dude. Yeah.
We're going to put that aside and let that dry.
Okay. This is cool.
Now comes the fun part.
What are we going to do?
We're going to take our piece of yellow paper
Yellow paper.
and we're going to take our paints
Uh-huh.
and we're going to put some paint in a dish and then we're going to finger paint, Murph.
Oh, I love finger painting.
I know you do.
Oh, that's awesome.
So-
but what happens if we don't have any paint?
Well, if you don't have any paint, Murph,
Right.
you can use magic markers
Uh-huh.
or crayons or anything you want just to put some colors on here. You just want to dab some colors on here.
Cool, look at all of our autumn colors mixed together. It's kind of cool, like modern art, right?
That's right, Murph.
Now what do we do next?
Next, we're going to take our scissors and we're
Uh-huh.
going to cut this piece of paper up into little tiny little snips, almost like when you're making confetti.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to do that.
Does it have to be any particular shape or
Doesn't have to be any particular shape or anything like that. You just cut little shapes out.
little shapes? Okay, and remember, if you're using the scissors, make sure there's an adult handy.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, Murph, we've got all our little pieces cut up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to stick all these pieces onto our acorn.
Just any old way.
Just any old way you want to stick them.
So all these different shape, different colored little pieces all come together.
That's right. They all come together to make something beautiful.
Oh, this is so cool. You know what would be cool?
What would be cool, Murph?
To put some of those around the edge of the black paper too.
Oh, Murph, that's a great
Oh,
idea.
thanks, dude.
We'll have to do that. Let me get a few of these on
kind
the
of
lid.
a border, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. A border would be good.
Yeah. Can you
I'll
start the
do
border?
that. I'm starting the border right now just for you, Murph.
Oh, cool, dude, cool.
Just for you.
So you just keep doing that all the way around and
That's right. All the way
But you
around.
leave white spots showing in your acorn, right?
Yes, we leave some white spots showing so that
we
we
don't
see the
cover it
colors
all
more.
up.
No, we don't cover it all up.
No.
All right, Murph, we are done. What do you think?
Oh, man, I think we did pretty good.
I think we did awesome, Murph.
It's our mosaic acorn.
That's right. All the little pieces came together to make a beautiful project.
That's right, and the pieces are all different and different colors. That is so cool.
They are, Murph.
Thanks for showing me that.
Oh, you're welcome, Murph.
And look, all ready for autumn.
That's right. All ready for autumn.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that the doorbell?
Oh, I think it is, Murph.
Okay.
It must be time for our special guest. Are you ready to meet
Oh,
him?
I think so. I can't wait. Oh, it's exciting. Who's it gonna be? It's a surprise. Johnson, it's a surprise. Who is it? Who is it?
Hey, Chip. Glad you could make it. This is Murph, the star of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, John, how are you? Hey, Murph, how are you?
Oh, hi. How are you? Did I hear your name is Chip?
It is.
Oh, can I call you Mr. Chip?
You sure can.
Mr. Potato Chip? Chocolate Chip?
That's right.
Oh my goodness. So, what do you do, Mr. Chip?
Well, Murph, I have the really fun opportunity to describe the games of the Blue Raiders, football and basketball, to fans who listen on the radio.
Oh, so you're a sports announcer?
That's right, Murph. I'm the voice of the Blue Raiders.
You mean if I turn on the radio and I want to listen to a game, I can hear you?
You can.
Oh, dude, that is awesome. Oh my goodness. How did you learn to do that?
Well, you learn a lot of things by listening to others who do things well, and to also emulate people who do things well. And when I was a wee little boy,
Wee little boy.
yes, back
A
in my
chip. Just a chip.
yeah, I was
Chip
just
off the old block.
I was a chip off the old block, exactly. And when I was a kid, I would lay in my bed at night and I would listen to the radio and listen to those great play-by-play announcers call games from all across the country. And I thought, boy, they get to go to the game for free and they get to have a good time and tell people about it, because I like to tell stories, and that's what a game is. It's just a story that you're telling and describing to people.
Oh, it is so cool, Mr. Chip. So how old were you when you started this?
Well, when I started thinking about it, I was probably in elementary school, but I actually got a job at a radio station in my hometown when I was 15 years old.
Oh my gosh, so you started and you got a job when you were 15.
How about that?
That is awesome, dude. And have you been working ever since?
I have. I've announced high school games in my hometown and also here in Murfreesboro at WGNS back in the 80s when I was in college here at MTSU. And then after that, I've worked in calling college games. And for MTSU, I've been part of their radio crew for 27 years.
Whoa, that is like a legendary deal, dude. My goodness, let me ask you, did you ever want to play football?
Well, you know, I did when I was like in junior high and elementary school. I played Pop Warner football. But then I really got intrigued with being able to tell the stories of the game.
The stories,
and
yeah.
so it was. So that kind of led me down that path, and you know, I saw that, you know, if you wanted to play in college, you had to be really, really good, and I was not really, really good at playing, but I could talk about it good.
So you found your voice, right?
Exactly.
Your way of being involved.
That's exactly right, because everybody can be involved in a lot of different ways.
That is so cool, dude. And what is the hardest game you've ever had to call? Do you remember?
Oh gosh, I don't know. As far as hard, I can tell you one of the most exciting was 2 years ago in the NCAA tournament when Coach Davis's guys upset Michigan State and they busted the bracket.
Go,
you know,
Mr. Kermit.
That's right. Kermit's a good friend of yours.
Oh yeah, he's a dude, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, and that was exciting.
It was very exciting. Yeah. And and the thing was, not only were people listening and watching on television, but the way that it exploded with people on Facebook and Twitter and all the social media, our guys were the darlings of college basketball for 48 hours.
Oh yeah, they sure were, but fame is fleeting, isn't it?
That's right, and that's why it's so important for our student athletes to do good in school. And that's something that we're very proud of at MTSU, of how well our student athletes perform in the classroom. And these guys, they want to invite, all the kids from around Murfreesboro and Rutherford County to come watch them play.
Oh, this is a great time to go watch the Blue Raiders, right?
That's right, and that's exactly how I say it.
Is it really?
Blue Raiders.
Oh,
So
man. Yeah, I may find my second calling as a sports announcer.
you very well could.
Oh, yeah. So, now, when you were a kid and getting ready, did you go in your room and practice and all that?
I did a little bit of that. You're kind of shy when you're just starting something and you want to build confidence.
Sure,
Isn't that
sure,
right? So I would kind of do that on my own. And then once, I had that confidence, then I felt okay to actually go on the radio or on television where people could actually hear and see what I was saying.
I really like what you just said, because we have to practice anything we want to be good at, right?
That's right. No matter what it is, you want to practice. And you always hear the phrase, practice makes perfect.
Sure.
Well, let's take that a step further.
Okay.
Perfect practice makes perfect.
Perfect practice makes perfect. What does that mean?
That means you practice with all the gusto that you would have when you were playing.
Cool, dude. I like that word, gusto. That's going to be my new vocabulary word, gusto.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask, do you have any pets at home?
I can tell you about my first pet and my favorite pet.
Okay.
I had a.
Wait. Was he a hunting dog?
Well, she was a dog, but she was very friendly to the neighbor animals.
Oh, good.
So
Okay.
she was a beagle dog, and her name was Susie.
Oh, little Susie.
Little Susie, and she gave us a lot of nice puppies, and my two favorites were little twin boy pups, and their names were Rough and Ready, and they sure were.
Did you name them?
I
Rough
did.
and Ready? Oh,
because
is so cool.
that was one of my favorite cartoons growing up, was Rough and Ready.
Wow. Okay. Now we are ready to ask the last 3 questions.
All right.
Are you all rough and ready for
I'm
it?
ready. I am rough and I'm ready today, Murph.
Okay. All right. What was your favorite book when you were a child?
The first book that made a really big impression on me as far as reading a lot, and I like to read, was Little House in the Big Woods.
Oh, yeah, by the Laura Ingalls.
Laura Ingalls Wilder.
Tell us something about yourself that would surprise us.
Oh, something that would surprise you is that I don't watch as much sports on TV as you would think.
Really?
Yes, because I'm a big history buff.
Right.
and I like doing, and we're in a great area for history.
Sure.
I like going and learning about things that happened, like at the Stones River battlefield. I love to hike. Last year, as a matter of fact, in a matter of 12 months, you talk about the highs and lows.
Right.
Well, I went all the way to the bottom of Fall Creek Falls.
Wow.
And then when we were at the Hawaii Bowl, I went all the way to the top of Diamond Head.
That is awesome. Good for you.
It's fun to get outside and enjoy what nature has for us.
Okay. Last question.
Mm-hmm.
Can anybody grow up to do what you do?
You know, I think like you said earlier, I think everybody has a voice for something.
Right.
Whether it's what I do or whatever they may choose. It may be to be a teacher. It may be to be a fireman or a policeman or someone who works in an office. But and I think you have to do what I do. You can't be shy. You have to develop that confidence. But again, that goes for anything. So
And you have to practice.
Yeah, and you have to practice.
Oh, you've been such a great guest, Mr. Chip. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Well, I really appreciate it, Murph, because you've been kind of one of my heroes. I grew up watching some great kid shows, and then I always hoped that I would get an invite over here. Can I invite you somewhere?
Yeah, sure.
I would love for you to come over to the press box one day, and I can show you the radio booth where we actually do the games.
Oh, really, dude? Really?
We can do that.
Oh, can we go, John?
Sure can, Murph.
Road trip, road trip. Oh, this is so cool. Mr. Chip, you know what we say around here?
What's that?
We only say this to our special guest, you the bunny.
Oh, you the bunny.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Chip was a great guest, wasn't he?
He sure was, Murph. He knows a lot about football.
Yeah. Did you know that some people call footballs pigskins?
I did, Murph. And speaking of pigskins, I've got a friend of mine who's got a little piggy that we should meet.
Okay. Oh, I can't wait. A little piggy.
A little piggy.
A little baby piggy.
Yeah, little baby piggy.
Hey, guys, you come too. Hi, everybody. I am here with my friend, Mr. John Beatty's granddaughter, Miss Emmaline. Hi, Emmaline.
Hi, Murph. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here. I'm learning all about animals, and I see you've got a little friend right there.
Yes, I do, Murph. This is a 3-week-old pig.
A 3-week-old pig. Oh, a little baby piggy. Hello. Oh, he looks so cute. Do you have a name, or you just call it Little Piggy?
We just call it Little Piggy.
Oh, I like that. I like that. What are your favorite animals?
My favorite animals are cows and hogs, or pigs.
Cows and hogs or pigs. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. And do you live close to the farm and go and play and work on the farm?
Oh, yes, all the time. I live 2 houses away from the farm, so...
So you spend a lot of time there, huh?
Yes, Murph.
Oh, that's so cool. So tell me, Emmaline, what is your favorite book to read?
I like Charlotte's Web. Charlotte's Web's a good book.
Oh, in fact, it's got a very special little pig in Charlotte's Web, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it sure does. And what do you do in your free time, Emmaline?
I play flag football, and I enjoy playing sports, and I enjoy being with my family and my friends.
That is so cool. Thanks for introducing us. What can you tell us about little pigs?
Well, pigs, there's a lot of things about little pigs. Little pigs they drink their mom's milk for a few weeks, and then they eat ground corn.
Ground corn, okay.
And then pigs, do you ever wonder why they're in mud?
Yeah, I do. I do wonder why they're in mud.
Well, when they get hot, they can't sweat like we do. So they take a mud bath.
So they use the mud as a kind of sunscreen?
Yes, that's exactly right.
That's so cool. That's awesome. It's been great talking with you, Emmaline.
You too.
You take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, that little piggy was so cute.
He sure was, Murph. And speaking of pigskins and football, I think it's time that we go check out the press box and visit Mr. Chip.
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, I can't wait. Okay. Road trip.
Road trip, guys.
Road trip.
Come with us.
Hey, Murph, I want to welcome you to where I work. This is the radio booth here at Floyd Stadium.
Wow, the radio booth. Oh, my goodness, we're way up high.
We are. We're way up above the field, so it gives us a chance to see the players with their numbers and all that. And so here we get a good view of all 100 yards of the field.
100 yards. Hey, can you help me count by 10 to 100? 10,
20,
30,
40,
50,
60,
70,
80,
90,
100.
Yay, us. Oh, good counting, dude.
There you go. Thanks.
Do you have to do much counting for what what you do down there?
Oh, we have to do a lot of counting. There's a lot of adding and subtracting when you try to figure out how many yards. So if you're a youngster and you want to do this, you got to be pretty good at math, because there's a lot of adding, subtracting, and dividing, and even a little bit of multiplying. And when you even look at the scoreboard, it's all numbers for the most part, so you have to know what you're doing with math.
Okay, you come in here and you get all situated, then what happens?
Well, then the game starts, and then every play we try to tell listeners the same thing. What down is it? Is it first, second, third, or fourth down? How many yards to go for a first down? That's called down and distance. And we also, the yard line, where the ball is. We try to be very descriptive, and when we tell the story, so it could be on a hash mark or middle of the field, things like that.
Right.
And then we describe exactly what's happening in the play. Who has the ball? Where did they go? How did they get there? Who makes the tackle? So it's that process every play that's repetitive, and we try to do that and tell a story to the listeners that's both accurate and somewhat colorful if we can.
So they can kind of use their imaginations as they listen to you to visualize the game, right?
That's right, and that puts the pressure back on us to give them some details and some context so they can have that picture in their mind of what's going on.
And so you have been doing this, remind us how long?
I've been in the play-by-play chair for 9 years, and I've been part of the radio crew for 27 years now.
Whoa, and then we met Mr. Dick out there who...
Mr. Palmer, he did the play-by-play for 26 years.
Wow, Mr. Dick Palmer and Mr. Chip Walters, y'all are pretty cool guys.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay. So can we kind of do one now? I mean...
Yes, we can. How about we do this, Murph? I'm going to put this on you, so but you're going to be the subject today, but here, we're going to put a mic on you.
Hey, get a good shot, Josh.
Looking good, Murph.
Oh, I'm looking good. Okay.
All right. It's 1st and 10 at the 20.
First and 10 at the 20.
For MTSU, of course.
Right.
All right, and in the backfield, the Raiders have a quick running back. His name is Murph. Brent Stockstill gives the ball to Murph. He cuts to the right side. He's at the 20, the 30, 40, 50, 60. No, 60. How about that? We go back to the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10.
Yeah.
And guess who hops into the end zone?
Woo!
Murphy.
Do I touchdown?
You have a touchdown.
Alrighty. Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go. Oh, that was pretty cool. Can you take
I can take those off of you now, yeah.
Oh my goodness, you did a great job. You made it so exciting.
Except for the 60-yard line.
Yeah.
But that's all different.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we have to learn, is that in a football field, it only goes to the 50, and then it goes descending order back down to 0.
Oh my goodness, so it doesn't go to the 60.
No.
And so the 50 is the halfway mark.
That's right.
And one down is 10 yards?
Well, to get a first down, you have to gain 10 yards, but you have 4 chances to do that.
4 chances to get 10 yards. What's the most exciting part of the game?
Big plays are exciting.
Right.
If you have a big touchdown pass, if Brent Stockstill throws one to Richie James
Right.
for a touchdown, that's a very exciting play.
One of the most important things to remember is that there are lots of different ways to be involved in something like this, right?
That's exactly right. This whole press box has a lot of different people who are involved in different ways. Like right behind me, there's another booth. That's where the public address announcer, Larry Talbert, has been doing the public address here for about almost 40 years. And you have the scoreboard operator. You have the main part of the press box. That's where all the newspaper writers are. It takes a lot of people to have a football game.
Thank you so much for showing us around today, Mr. Chip.
Oh, absolutely, Murph. You're always welcome to come and see the Blue Raiders.
Oh, yeah, come on out and check out the Blue Raiders. Go team. Oh, hey, dude, look at me. Yes, I am. I'm Murph, the quarterback or the running back or anything. It's so cool to be a part of MTSU. Yeah. Be like the Blue Raiders and score a touchdown for your school. Be kind, work hard, study, share, and you too can be true blue. Yeah. Whoa, dude, John! Oh, I'm all ready to practice. I'm ready to try being an announcer. Oh, I can't wait to learn how to use my voice.
That's great, Murph. I'm glad to hear you say that because I have a surprise for you.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, we already had the surprise of Mr. Chip. What kind of... Oh, wait a minute here.
A very good friend of ours
Uh-huh.
wanted me to give you this since he heard that you were wanting to do radio.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, who was it?
It was Mr. Bart Walker.
Oh, Mr. Bart! Oh, Mr. Bart, dude, you are so cool! Oh, look at I'm all ready. I'm all ready to start making
You are
calls. Are you ready?
all ready, Murph.
Okay. And here comes Murph, and he's running down. Okay, that was sports. Let's try news. And
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, for tonight's news, we bring you the carrot countdown. Oh, wait, what else can I do?
Do the farm report, Murph.
Farm report. Okay, and today rabbits are going to take over your garden. Yeah.
That was great, Murph.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Oh, I want to go over and thank Mr. Bart.
Oh, that's a great idea. And then we can check out WGNS radio.
Yeah, we can show the kids what a radio station looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah, come on.
let's go.
Oh, hi, everybody. I am here with our good friend, Mr. Bart Walker from WGNS.
Hey, Murph, good to have you here today.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I hear they call this the Good Neighbor Station, right?
We try to be.
Yeah. You know, you've been here quite a while, haven't you?
I have. It's been a long time, but it's been fun
Has it? Oh, what's the most fun you have here?
meeting you.
Oh, see, this is why he's such a good friend of ours. Okay. So how long have you been working on the radio?
I've been working in radio since the 8th grade.
Whoa,
That's a long time.
dude. So you got interested very early.
I did, and it's a fun business because we get to meet nice people just like you.
Wow, so you use your voice to make a living.
Yes, I do, but I really use it to talk with people and get them to talk to me.
Right?
And we share things and become friends over the radio. I've had the good fortune to interview one of the presidents of the United States.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was fun.
Right.
And then we've talked to several movie stars and musicians. But most of all, the best thing is talking to people right here at home and getting to know them.
Because they're pretty special people right here at
They
home.
are very special people. They
Yeah.
really are.
Yeah, right in your own backyard.
And the great thing is, a lot of them don't realize they have ideas that other people need. And we get to hear those ideas, and so do the other people who listen to the radio, and they come up with new ways to do things, and it makes people who have problems, makes those problems go away.
That is so awesome. So you use your voice to give other people a voice.
We try to be a good neighbor.
Oh, thanks, dude. All right, thanks for talking to us today.
You have a great day, Murph. Come back and see us again soon, and you are the good neighbor.
Oh, yeah, and you can be one too.
Yeah.
Oh, they are so cool. All the good folks at WGNS are just, they're top bunnies right there.
They are, Murph. They really are.
Yeah.
So now that you've got your microphone, you can practice being a radio announcer.
Yeah, I can use my voice.
You can use your voice.
There are lots of different ways we can use our voice, and you don't need a microphone.
That's right, Murph. You can greet a new friend.
Yeah, you can say hi to the new kids at school.
You can encourage your friends.
Oh, sure. Hey, good job, you got this, things like that.
That's right. And you can speak up for things you believe in.
Oh, absolutely. And you can demand more carrots.
That's true. You can demand more carrots. It may not work, but you can demand more
You can
carrots.
always say please, too. Please and thank
Say
you.
please. Make sure you say please.
You know, we could also use our voice to thank all the great guests we've had in this episode.
That's a great idea, Murph. Let's give a big shout out to Chip Walters. He was awesome.
The voice of the Blue Raiders.
He did a great job.
And of course, our old friend, Mr.
Bart Walker.
Yay!
Thank you very much.
And remember, you can use your voice to
Dream big and work hard. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Use your voice.
Yeah, I want my carrots now.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Keep demanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do girls go on a date to the movies?
What's a pig that knows karate? A pork chop.
What kind of music do planets listen to? Neptunes.
Okay, bye-bye. We love you here in the borough. Remember to dream big and work hard, and all that good stuff. Okay, it's a wrap. I'm out of here. Where's my producer? Where's my director? I want my carrot juice. Come on. Oh, hey guys,